So this one is another bond energies. We're going to look at the bonds broken minus the bonds formed. In this case, let's kind of count up. We're going to do a little bit more counting in this case. In terms of the bonds broken, and again, I like to break all the bonds and then form all the bonds. That's going to be easier when you're doing that. So I have a carbon-carbon double bond. So I have one carbon-carbon double bond. And then also I have carbon-hydrogen bonds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 carbon-hydrogen bonds I need to break. Then I also have one fluorine bond. So I count up all the bonds they're going to break. So I'm going to break all the bonds. Let's make it easier. And then I'm going to look at the bonds that get formed. So in terms of bonds formed, well, if I look at this, I'm going to count up my carbon-hydrogen bonds. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 carbon-hydrogen bonds that got to form. I have a carbon-carbon single bond. So I'm going to add that. And then finally, I have a carbon-fluorine bond. So I'm going to add that too. So when you're doing this, just break all the bonds, form all the bonds, and then we're going to determine the energy for the bonds broken minus the energy from the bonds formed. So what I've done is I went ahead and looked up the bond energies. Again, this is something they'll give it to you in a table, etc. So I have the 1 carbon double bond, the 4 hydrogen bonds, again 4 times each one that's going to be broken, and then the 1 fluorine bond. So this is my bonds broken. 2,646. That's how much energy it takes to break those bonds. And then I'm going to subtract now from it the bonds formed. So the bonds formed, again, I have my 5 carbon-hydrogen bonds. So 5 times that value. Again, that value is from the table. 1 carbon-carbon single bond, 1 carbon fluorine bond. So my energy for my bonds formed, that's how much energy gets released, is 2,898 kilojoules per mole. And so to finish it up, what I'm going to do is take the energy from the bonds broken, subtract from it the bonds formed. So 2,646 kilojoules per mole minus 2,898 kilojoules per mole. So I'm going to end up with negative, which means it's exothermic, minus 252 kilojoules per mole. So this will be an exothermic reaction.